Welcome back to Teacher's Helper 123. Today we're going to learn one of the most important reading skills that will help you with communication, reading, and writing. We're going to learn about inference. Have you ever read a story and thought, what does the author mean by that? Or even watched a movie and thought, what does that mean? Well, you have to use inference skills because the author or writer is not always going to directly tell you what it means. Now in this video, we'll use short reading passages, pictures, and clues, as well as a movie to practice inferencing together. So grab your detective hat and let's get started. Now an inference is an educated guess. It's based on evidence. It's not just a random guess of what you think would happen. It is something that good readers do by using inference tools to help them imply the hidden meaning in reading or even watching movies. Good readers do not only read the words, they also think about hidden meanings. Now, in order to infer, we combine clues from the text or reading with what we already know. This helps us figure out information the author hints at and does not directly explain. Let me give you a quick example. Take a look at this paragraph. As Elijah stepped into the cafeteria, he hesitated near the doorway and scanned the crowded tables. He spotted his usual group laughing loudly near the windows, but none of them looked in his direction. Tightening his grip on the frayed strap of his backpack, Elijah quietly chose a seat at the far end of the room and stared down at his untouched lunch tray. A few moments later, he let out a weary sigh and pulled the hood of his sweatshirt over his head. Across the cafeteria, a teacher watched him carefully before walking over to his table. Now I want you to think about that paragraph. And what I want you to answer is, what can the reader infer about how Elijah is feeling? Let's highlight some clues first. So I'm going to highlight usual group laughing loudly, tightening his grip, seat chose and he stared down, and the weary sigh. Based on these clues, I can infer that Elijah felt lonely. What do you think? What does the word frayed most likely mean? So here's the sentence. Tightening his grip on the frayed strap of his backpack. Well, I know that he wanted to tighten it. What do I already know about backpacks? Well, I know a good backpack, I don't usually have to tighten it often. Frayed most likely means worn or beginning to break or tear. Now the last question is, why did the teacher walk over to Elijah? Well, I know that teachers are very observant. She noticed he was sad and upset and that he was sitting by himself. So he wasn't sitting with his usual group. How did you do on your inference skills? If you didn't do so well, hang on, I'll help you out. If you did well, then stay tuned. I might give you some more clues to help you with your inference skills. So we just used inference in the story about Elijah. Here are some things that will help you become a better inference detective. So we infer by thinking about the character's actions. What are they doing? What did they do next? What led up to those actions? And how did they react? Thinking about the character, how the character feels, such as were they sad, glad, exhausted, excited. So remember in the story about Elijah, he felt upset. He was sitting by himself. He felt lonely. So those are all describing how the character feels. Now you can also think about what you already know. We call that schema. Our schema is based off of our events that have occurred in our life or books that we've already read. Basically things that we already know. Now we also use the plot and events in the story to help us with inference and the character's features and personal experiences. Remember, inference is not always easy because the author may not have stated it in the text, and so it's not direct knowledge that you would be aware of. Now, when you infer, you're thinking about the character's actions. What are they doing? What does their emotion show? Are they delighted, sad, excited about something? Now, good readers have to use the feelings and what the characters say. We also have to think about what we already know, our schema or previous knowledge of the world experiences, books or movies we may have watched. Now, keep in mind the plot as well. What is going on in the story that will help you draw conclusions about events that led up to your inference. Finally, look at the characters' features, their experiences, and how they interact with other characters. So let's practice with a movie. We're going to take a look at the scene from the Pixar movie Up, and I want you to look at the motion of the scene about Carl and Ellie. I'm going to pause the video and ask a few questions, and you can either answer them with your teacher or yourself, or you can put them in the comments below. Okay, so let's review. Were you able to answer the questions that I popped up on the screen? Now, can you think of a personal experience where you had the same emotion that Ellie had at the beginning? Why did Carl and Ellie feel this way throughout the video, and how did their emotions change? Now, if you said I infer that their relationship changed, it went from happiness to sadness because of the loss of their baby. Their dreams of the happy ending resulted in disappointment. Anything in reference to their feelings, then you're correct. You can also put it in the comments if you inferred anything different than what we inferred here. Now that we have our movie, let's take a look at a book and do the same thing. Let's apply our inference skills that we know to the book. But before we do that, please like and subscribe to this channel. So here's a short entry of the story called The Backpack. Jordan slowly walked into the classroom 10 minutes late. I'm going to underline 10 minutes late. His shoes squeaked across the floor as tiny drops of water fell. Water fell, that's a clue there. From his hoodie onto the tile. He avoided looking at anyone. I'm going to underline he avoided looking at anyone. Without saying a word, he placed a crumpled piece of paper on the teacher's desk and quickly sat in the very back corner of the room. The teacher glanced at the paper, nodded quietly, and gave Jordan a small smile. I'm going to underline that last sentence as well. Jordan rested his head down on his desk for several seconds before pulling out his notebook. So thinking about what I underlined and the pictures that I drew, did you get a mental image in your head while I was reading the story? Just like in the movie, we can create a movie in our head by hearing words. So let's infer. What can the reader infer about Jordan before he entered school? Okay, I'm going to pause here, or you can pause the video if you need more time. But if you answered B, that is correct. He was caught in the rain. Now, what clues in the story help you make that inference? So we already underlined 10 minutes late and water fell. Okay, so that tells us that it was raining. Number 2, why did Jordan avoid looking at other students? Okay, so you can pause if you need more time, but the answer is C. He may feel embarrassed or upset. Our evidence of this inference is here in the reading. So he did not want to look at his classmates. He either was embarrassed or afraid of his classmates, that they would make fun of him. Okay, so our final question is, what does the teacher's reaction suggest? You can pause here, but the teacher understands Jordan's situation. So this sentence tells me that the teacher is understanding what he's going through here, because the teacher nodded quietly and gave Jordan a small smile. So let's review inference. In the reading, just like in the movie clip up, we use strategies we learned about earlier: filling, our schema, character features to infer or imply what is going on in the story. As you can see in both the story and the movie, the author or the writer did not tell us directly what is going on. We have to be skilled at using clues in the story to infer what is going to happen and what the reactions mean. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Also be sure to turn on notifications, as my future video about inference will allow you to practice your skills a little bit more. I will create a video in game style form on an inference activity that you can use in your classroom or at home to practice mastering inference. Thank you so much for watching the Teacher's Helper channel, and stay tuned.